Hello to everyone. It is Shavi Zane. I'm glad that you all could join me today. So, this message that I'm going to be putting out here is definitely for the chosen, the 144,000. This message is going to be a little different from the ones that I've been doing, but it's definitely going to bring in some clarity in regards to some of those things that you all might intuitively be feeling, but you can't quite put your finger on it. I want to start off by reading a particular scripture. While I'm not religious, I do believe in the Most High God, and I do believe that a lot of the biblical text is actually encoded to give us some clarity as to what is happening on the back end of things where we can't quite see on the surface. And so I want to read this to y'all. This is Revelation. So this is in the book of the Revealed, the Revelations, okay? Chapter 18, and it's going to be verses 12 and 13. So let me start off here. The merchandise of gold. Hold on, I'm going to start with chapter 11. And all the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So this passage is talking about they're going to be weeping and mourning because there's certain merchandise that Babylon was selling, across the world, but they're not going to buy it from them anymore. So what is that merchandise? The merchandise of gold, silver, precious stones, and of pearls, of fine linen, purple and silk, scarlet, and all thine wool, and all manner of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious stone, wood, and of brass, and of iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and the wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. That's the part that I really want y'all to get. All of these things that they listed, all physical things that you can actually purchase: frankincense, oils, animals, wheat, all of these things, fine linen. You know that these things have been sold, okay, from one country to the next. But did you know that in the Bible it specifically speaks about them selling the soul of a man? Now, why would you sell the soul of a man? And how is that even possible, right? Some of you might ask that question, but many of you who are drawn to me are already awakened to the fact that this is something that you have speculated. They've always spoken about like the Illuminati, or like when they've talked about celebrities selling their soul for fame. But this is talking about no one is going to buy their merchandise, which means the merchandise of Babylon, which is America. No one outside is going to buy their merchandise anymore. So that means that other people from other countries who was in high ranking positions that was a part of this whole conspiracy was not only buying the merchandise of the physical things, but they was also buying people's souls. Okay, so then this is where the message is going today. That's why I read that passage, because I want you all to understand what is happening when we talk about spiritual warfare. This thing is very deep. It runs deep, and it's been hidden. It's been a lot of conspiracies to keep this information from getting out there, but people are now awakening to the fact that these people have had a very wicked agenda towards, especially specifically, the chosen seed. If you're going to sell the soul of a man, the one that is of most value is the one that belongs to that of the Most High, the chosen seed, the 144,000. So yes, you have been specifically targeted. We have been specifically targeted since the day that we was born, since before we was born, for lifetimes. You have to understand that this is lifetimes that we have been here. But since before we was born, there was an agenda to try and steal and to sell our soul. But because we are chosen, they could never get away with it. They could never actually sell the souls of the chosen seed, because we was divinely guided. We was purposed to actually awaken to who we are. So now let me show you. They said the slaves, that's the last part, and souls of men. Nobody wants to buy their merchandise anymore. They don't even want to buy the slaves, and they don't want to buy the souls anymore either. So what has happened here? What has caused these people who was in this energy of they had so much power that they could use their resources to buy the soul of a man? What has shifted to where they no longer want to buy the souls of a man and the soul of a man anymore? What has shifted is the fact that righteous judgment is being placed upon their heads, and they know that now Now, in this time of awakening, we are coming back into our divinity and we are stepping into our power, so much so that we can't be touched because we already have reconnected to our Father. We know who we are, and He is activating our DNA. He is placing within us the wisdom, knowledge, and understand that we need in order to rise higher, so that we're not operating in a low vibrational state, because that's been the agenda. If they could keep you in a low vibrational state, that's why you had certain family members that was placed around you, certain types of relationships that you have had to deal with, certain traumas that you have had to go through, because it was all to prepare you for one mission, which was to take your soul, which is the most valuable thing that you carry. It is really the most valuable thing that is here on planet Earth, because we're talking about the 144,000 here coming in to reawaken and reestablish humanity and to create a new power structure. That's what they didn't want to happen. So let's see what's going on. I want to pull some cards here. We're going to talk about this message. I want this agenda to get out there, because you all have been speculating. You've been thinking. You've been looking at people with the side eye, like, what's your true motive? Why have you been around me? Who are you? So let's see what this is all about here. So yeah, you've been questioning whether or not certain people are your true friend, okay? You might have some people around you who are very egotistical, very prideful, and you're starting to look at them from your side eye, wondering, who are you really? What is your agenda really? Why are you really in my life? Why did you incarnate with me here in this lifetime? Because maybe there's something about them that's making you question. It's just something about their spirit. Your spiritual eyes have been awakened so much so that you're looking at them different. Now, let me remind you, when it comes to selling the soul of a man, the agenda was to get anybody that they could, people that was close to you. The people that are closest to you are the ones that can help carry out this agenda, okay? So I'm talking about family members, like I said, friends, loved ones. No one is exempt in terms of your pastor, okay? The governmental structure. Everybody has been a part of this, okay? Break free, all right? So there is somebody that you have been questioning, that you are wondering whether or not they're a true friend, but it's time for you to break free from that relationship. Okay, so your energy of discernment is telling you that they have a certain agenda. They have a certain motive towards you. Okay, and you've had to probably break free from multiple friendships over the past few years, especially during this time of awakening, because you're beginning to try people by their spirit. Why? Because you are the generational curse breaker. You see what I'm saying? You was placed here to break generational curses off of your family, especially when you talk about generational curse breaker, you're talking about those that come after you, those seeds that you create that come out of you, that you birth, or even the generations that come after you. If you don't have actual children, the generations that are just coming in after you. You are here to break those generational curses through your purpose. So when they talk about selling the soul of a man, of course they want to try and sell the soul of the person who was here with the divine purpose of breaking generational curses, because a curse is an actual, it's a spell. You see what I'm saying? A curse is actually is spoken word. It's something that's placed over a certain group of people for generation after generation after generation, and it is done through a form of witchcraft. Many of the things that you see in terms of the way that the whole government is structured, and certain things that they use in terms of how they place certain buildings in this area and that area, they are using certain energies. They are harnessing, they are harvesting energy, okay? And so these people understand things from a higher level, okay? They understand things from an esoteric level on a dark side of things, okay? Because understand, even people will try to say, I've had many people that try to say that me using cards is witchcraft. This is not witchcraft. This is a visual tool that allows you to pick up on energy, so that I'm able to communicate back to you those things that need to be confirmed based on the energy that is being projected by the collective. So the message here today is in regards to them selling your soul and trying to use these things. They wanted to try to stop you from being the generational curse breaker. So you've had people around you that you've had to break free from in order to move towards your purpose. Look at this. What I just say? Wicked intentions. Wicked intentions. These people have wicked intentions towards you. Okay, there's a certain friend. I feel like you have a specific friend that you have been looking at that you feel that the energy that they are projecting is very low vibrational, and it doesn't seem like they have the right intentions, because they don't. Whoever it is that you are questioning, you need to break free from them if you have not already done that. But the intentions was to stop the wicked intentions. They've been using wicked intentions to stop those who are the generational curse breakers who will be waking up at this time. Okay, because this is in the book of Revelation. So this is all about the reveal. We are now in the age of Aquarius. And in the age of Aquarius, this is about the time of being able to see things from a higher perspective on a spiritual level. The veil being lifted where you're no longer seeing things from the face of, or seeing things from the level of the matrix or from the 3D level. No, you stepping outside of that and you rising higher. Okay, this says prayer. Okay, and so I feel that, you know, when we talk about prayer, understand that prayer can be used in two different ways. You can use it to pray upon somebody, or you can use that energy to actually pray for grace, pray for good things to come into your life. So understand that wicked intentions, people can use prayer, like I said, putting curses, putting certain spells, because that's what a curse is. A curse is a spell over one generation to the next in order to keep you asleep. All right. And you have different people that are placed into your life. Would be it friends. You have certain friends that'll continue to place this curse over you throughout different generations. People that'll put spells on you in order to keep you from waking up to who you are. These people came into your life. They incarnated with you into this lifetime to put you back to sleep or to continue out the curse that was already placed over you from a past generation on previous generations. You see what I'm saying? And so I feel like you have a friend that was placed into your life strategically to get close enough so that they could continue to put this curse over you with wicked intentions, okay? And they're preying on you. They might even be going and doing like certain seances or certain types of rituals, praying over you with wicked intention to keep you from seeing that you are the generational curse breaker and that you are the chosen seed. So it's time for you to break free from whoever that person is. This agenda is much greater than people understand, okay? It's not on the surface. When you look at things, you have to understand that everything is spiritual before it's physical. And so we were so separated from the spiritual realm because we were so caught up in materialism. We were so caught up in the ego. And we were so caught up in our carnal nature that we was not able to see the agenda that was happening in the spiritual realm. But now, because the veil has been lifted, you can feel the war that was happening in the spiritual realm. You could feel the conflict that was happening in the spiritual realm. And so it might have even caused some internal conflict within you because it was making you have to see that it was certain people that you needed to break free from, because now you're not looking at them from the same set of eyes that you was looking at them from before. Before you was looking at them through your physical eyes, but now that the veil has been lifted, you can't help but see people from a spiritual perspective. And this is why you might have been questioning this friend recently. It says sever ties. Again, you got break free and you got sever ties. You got to break free from whoever that friend is, because this is a false person. This is not your true friend. This person has very wicked intentions and a very bad agenda against you, and you know who that person is. Your intuition tells you who that person is. You have to stay on course. This person was placed into your life to try to throw you off course. And what's at the bottom of the deck here? It says wicked intentions. Working together. Okay, we already had wicked intentions coming out. This says working together. So this person, this friend, has been working with other people, okay, in order to try to put you asleep, to put spells, to put dark magic over you. That's what this says. This says right here, dark magic. They're using dark magic to try to keep you stuck. They're using dark magic to try to throw obstacles and stumbling blocks in your way. They're using dark magic to try to keep you in a space of mental conflict, okay? Feeling like you're chained and bound to a certain type of construct or a certain type of situation where you are not able to move. They're also even using dark magic to try to keep you in an energy of addictions, addictive type of behaviors. Okay, so you want to definitely recognize this from a spiritual perspective. Anything that's not serving your highest good, anything that you're doing habitually that's keeping you in a low vibrational state or that's causing shame and guilt, you want to release yourself from that and replace it with something that's healthy. Okay, at this time, we cannot afford, especially as the chosen seed, we cannot afford to be in that energy. This is our time of waking up. And like I said, the agenda is much greater than what many people understand, but we understand it. The chosen seed, we understand what's going on. And if you've never been exposed to this particular passage or exposed to this particular type of understanding in terms of them selling souls, then I feel that this was your reminder to reawaken you to the facts in terms on a spiritual level, because everything, all the information that you're gaining at this point is just to reawaken you, to help you to remember who you are and what your purpose is, because we came in knowing, but it was life, it was conditioning, it was traumas, it was different circumstances and scenarios that put us to sleep. And so that's why certain people was strategically placed into your life in order to cause, to have wicked intentions, to cause you to go back up underneath this curse, to stay up underneath the curse, so that you would not awaken to the fact that you are the generational curse breaker. And so they was working together using dark magic against you in order to make this happen. This says you are powerful, okay? And this is why they wanted to keep you asleep, because when we awaken to our power on an individual level, this is all of us coming together. It don't matter if you in another country, it doesn't matter if we in another state, whether you right next door. When we awaken individually, the chosen seeds, we come together as one body. I don't care how far away we are. We come together as one body, and we restructure and we reshape and we reestablish the energy, okay, throughout the entire universe and throughout humanity. And so because each of us are very powerful, they had to have a plan. It was always a strategic plan to try to go against the chosen seed. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. Let's set up a scenario where she ends up losing her mother. They'll take your mother, they'll take your father, they'll um, send people towards you that has a very wicked or evil spirit, abusive people. You see what I'm saying? You'll end up in those types of scenarios. Or again, certain types of friends will come into your life and try to deter you and to distract you, so that, because it says stay on course, to try to distract you from your divine path. This is the time where we have to stay focused. We can't be deterred off of the path, okay? And yeah, they'll put you in this energy of grief, but you are healing. Understand, you are healing from the grief, okay? And so all of those things that you have gone through, all of those scenarios that they tried to put you up under, all of these obstacles that was placed into your life, you are healing from that situation. Don't allow grief, because the energy of grief is very low vibrational and it will keep you stuck. And when you're in that energy of grief, that's when people are able to put spells over you and dark magic over you, because you're now functioning as the perfect host to receive that type of energy into your vessel, because you're operating at a low vibrational state. And anytime you're in a low vibrational state, that's when you welcome in that type of the scavenger type of energies, or the the I can't even think of the right term for it, but anything that's low vibrational in its energy is able to embody you on a spiritual level. And so you want to make sure that you continue to stay in the energy of healing yourself, transmuting that energy, alchemizing that energy. Do not allow yourself to stay stuck in the past for too long, because deep regrets, okay? People are getting ready to go into some deep regrets about, or they already are having deep regrets, because they've been slandering your name. I feel like whoever this friend is, because this came out first, somebody that was wearing a false mask pretending to be a true friend was slandering your name, and now they're in deep regrets because you're healing from it. Okay, you was in a state of grieving, but now they're grieving. Karmic debt is being returned upon their heads, but it's being returned tenfold to them because of what they was doing. I feel like you was a true friend to this person, but this person, they was sent into your life strategically by the enemy, sent into your life to come in to deter you from your divine path, because they know that we are waking up as the chosen seed right now. And so this person, you're breaking free from this person and their dark magic and all of those things that they was doing to keep you from seeing who you are and from rising into your divinity. And this person definitely slandered your name, and they're in some deep regrets. You was always the black sheep. The chosen seed have always been the black sheep, okay? We've always been the ones that was set aside, or mistreated, or treated differently. We always felt differently, but that's because we were supposed to be preserved. We were supposed to be preserved, but the enemy, his whole agenda the entire time was to try to take us and to keep us in a low vibrational state of grief, guilt, shame, bitterness, anger. And if they could keep you in that state, then you would be susceptible to being someone that could have their soul to have your soul sold. So look at this, unexpected income. People was getting paid, okay, because we're talking about the scripture here is talking about merchants. The merchants would no longer buy these things from Babylon. And so the merchants, whoever it was that was buying, people was getting paid. This is somebody that was in a low vibrational energy that was more than happy to take money from someone that had wealth in order to try to sell your soul. Okay, this is somebody that was desperate for the money. You see how their hand is out, like they can't wait to get that money in their hand. They was desperate to receive this money, and this person that was of wealth was using them. They was the perfect host, the perfect vessel to try to come in. And this is since your childhood. Okay, this is since you was a child. They've been doing this. All right, this is not nothing new, but in a distant horizons, things are getting ready to be revealed to you. That chain that kept you bound and kept you feeling stuck and in the same place as if you was not able to move and there was nothing that you can do about your situation, everything is getting ready to come unchained. Okay, the entire anchor that kept that thing stabilized, whatever that structure was, is getting ready to come unhinged, and there's nothing that they can do about it. But yeah, somebody was definitely in the energy of getting paid to try to keep you bound and chained. And look at this, they're now in bad health. Whoever this person is, they're going to have to go through the karmic debt of being in bad health. But I feel that their agenda was to try to place bad health over you. They was hoping that if they could cause illness over you and put you in this energy of low vibrational state where you feel like that you're hopeless and there's nothing that you can do about your current situation, then they would be able to use this dark magic, okay? Because the dark magic, I feel, was towards your health. But now they're having to deal with issues of their health. And they may have even tried to send a certain type of energy towards your children. They may have even tried to cause bad health towards your children. That's how desperate these people was to receive this financial wealth, thinking that they was actually getting away with something. But or the whole time, the Most High had you covered. He had your holy angels around you, protecting you, all of the chosen seeds, all of the 144,000. While he, the Most High will give them a certain amount of leeway to come in and throw certain stumbling blocks in your way. But once you begin to awaken to who you are, the Most High says, oh no, that's enough. My child is awakened. My child is now reaching out to me. Now my child now knows who they are and they're stepping into their divine purpose. That's enough. Now it's time for you to receive the karmic justice that's coming over your head. You see what I'm saying? Because we had to go through certain things, though, in order to gain certain lessons and to become more empowered. It's like that coal that's being put up underneath the pressure and in the heat, withstanding all of that heat just to come out as the diamond on the other side. We had to go through certain things in order to help reawaken us and to help to remind us as to why we do not want to be a part of this matrix. We do not want to be a part of this structure, because had you not gone through those things, you would be a part of the other side of the collective that's easily brainwashed and that's willing zombies walking willingly with the system, knowing they might not even understand how corrupt it is because they didn't get shaken up enough to be able to see it. But it wasn't meant for them to see it. It was meant for us to see it. And so these people have doing this. They have been the agenda has been against us since childhood. But again, you have somebody that has been around you who has been acting as a friend, that has been wanting to cause bad health over you or over your children, but you are protected from them because they're getting ready to receive some great karmic justice. You have high honor. You are highly honored. You see what I'm saying? And these are the angels that I'm talking about here. These will be the angels that are fighting on your behalf because they know that you are high honor. They know that you are a chosen seed. And so they are fighting against the enemy on your behalf because this is the thing. We are in this energy now where we're shifting. Everything is shifting, okay? Not just the chosen seeds are waking up, but the people who have been a part of the agenda are also awakening to who we are. You see what I'm saying? And so because we're in this energy of awakening, the holy angels, our entire spiritual team is joined in on this spiritual warfare. This has all been going on spiritually. Spiritual warfare that's been going on. There's been things happening in the physical realm, of course, but on a spiritual level, they have been fighting on your behalf because you are of high honor, okay? There's been a lot of things that's been going on. Look at this, the wealthy man. This wealthy man will be the same one. Like I said, merchants, these people, you see that's the same suit with this hand right here that was giving this money here to whoever this person was that was in a space of poverty or low vibrational energy, trying to pay them off for your soul. Okay, but these same people that was wealthy, that was doing these things against the chosen seed, thinking that their money is what brought them power, are getting ready to find out they're getting ready to be in a space of poverty. Look at this. Despair. They're going through some much crazy despair, okay? Look, there was another card that I just had that said despair. They're going through deep regrets. They're going through deep regrets and despair for what they did because now it's being revealed. You, regardless of what they tried to do, they couldn't stop you from growing. They couldn't stop us from evolving in spite of their efforts. And this is why they're going through despair, because all you're going to do is continue to evolve, continue to grow. As much as they might try to do, they can pay off 1,000,000 people. The fact of the matter is, we are now in this time where the awakening has already happened. There's nothing, you can't turn it around, you can't change it. They can't change destiny. They're coming down. Their power structure is coming down, and their money can no longer keep them in this space of power, because even those that are outside of this country that thought that exchanging these different things and taking slaves and taking people's souls, selling people's souls, there's nothing that they can do. So now they're just, all they can do is sit back and expect. All they can do is sit back and wait for their demise to come over their heads. And that's why they're in this energy of despair. You better believe we are divinely guided and we are protected. Okay, you even have people that you was in a relationship with, certain connections, certain partnerships, even family members. You got the family room here. Certain family members. I told you it can be romantic partners, family members, friends, co-workers. These are all people that are placed strategically in your life to try to keep you asleep. Okay, and to use whatever methods they have. These are people that are getting paid off to do these things towards you. I've seen quite a number of videos from other people who are awakened to knowing that they are a chosen seed, how they are starting to see that people are actually stalking them, people are watching them, people are recording them. And me myself, I have certain people that I live around. You know, one particular woman, every time I go outside, she's standing there, she'll look at me and then she'll dip off in the back of the corner. What you steady dipping for? As soon as I walk outside, it never fails. Every single time, I can walk outside 5 times. If this woman is outside, when she looks at me, she goes behind the doggone building, or she goes around the staircase, like literally just automatically, like she's scared or something, like she's just, and I don't even understand it, but a large part of me understands on a spiritual level what this thing is all about. Okay, so you keep your eyes open. Like I said, yeah, they wanted to keep you in a space of having addictions, okay? Addictions. All right, because that's what that dark magic, that's what the spells was all about, to cause addictions. Okay, so if you had any addictions, whether it could be to sex, pornography, drugs, food, codependencies on bad relationships, anything that you felt that you had to habitually do, alcohol, these things, that was like a spell that would be over the chosen seed to keep you in a low vibrational energy, because all of those things, anything that you have to do that's external to yourself, that's a bad, that you do habitually, that's lowering your vibrations, that's going to keep you in a very low energy, and it makes you more susceptible to dark magic. You see what I'm saying? When you vibrating high, when you know who you are, and you're not holding on to any bad habits or doing anything habitually that's very low vibrational, they can throw as much dark magic towards you as you want to, and it won't touch you, because you're not in the energy to even be a host for the dark magic. You see what I'm saying? And so you had certain people around you, certain lovers, certain friends, certain family members that wanted to keep you in that space. Okay? Look at this. War on the melanated community. We already know that there's always been a war on the black people in America. Okay, all across the globe, there's been a war on the on black people, but definitely war on the melanated community. Okay, that's been largely the agenda from the higher, from the governmental structure in America since the very beginning, since it was first established. That since they first stole it, is what I should say. Wicked plans to turn us into robots. That's what that says. They had a wicked plan, wicked agendas to turn us all into robots, and that's why they would want to take your soul. Because when you take the soul of a man, that's the core of who you are. That's your divine connection to the Most High. That's your divine connection to the spiritual realm. Okay, that's your divine connection. That's your soul right there. When they take your soul, what happens? You turn into nothing but an empty vessel, and that's when they're able to turn you into a robot. The plan has always been to try to sell your soul, to turn you into this walking zombie, so that you will be docile and just do as they say, and so that they will be able to stay in a space of power. But they so foolish. That's how you know that they mentally ill. How you got to be mentally ill to think that you can go against the divine plan of the Most High God. He has everything strategically planned out and laid out, and he gave them enough time to hang them damn selves. Okay, that's ultimately what they have done. They have hung themselves. And everything that they have done where there was no justice, there was no righteous judgment placed over their heads for all of the murders, the rapes, the abuse, the lies, the taking our religion from us, taking our names from us, taking our identity from us, everything that they did, this whole governmental corporation, because it's a corporation, this is not what you're under is not a doggone, you're not a part of a country, you're a part of a corporation. Everything that they did, the conspiracies and the agendas, the dark magic, all of these things that they have been doing, okay, in the spiritual realm and on the physical realm, none of those things they've actually been punished for. But now is their time, and they are in despair. And this is why they're rushing. They're hoping that they can get enough people to go and get this doggone jab, as they call it. Okay, but most people are waking up to the fact that you have to be foolish to go stand in that line. And 144,000 damn sure ain't about to do it. We damn sure are not about to do it. But that's what they was hoping that they could do. If they could convince enough people or put enough people in a white lab jacket and get enough media to back them, then suddenly everybody will be in line turning into, willingly becoming robots. But they foolish as hell to think that they would actually be able to carry out that agenda and get away with it. You have inferiority. That was the entire agenda. If they can keep you in this space of inferiority and turn you into this robot with these wicked plans and wicked agendas, then they will be able to stay in a space of superiority, because these people have ego problems. It's something wrong, like I said, it's something very wrong with their mental. They have no empathy. They have no compassion. They have no souls. And why would you need to sell the soul of a man? Because you yourself don't have a soul. And this is what they was hoping. They was hoping to take your soul, and with their wealth and their power, maybe they could try to embody that divine power and strength that you possess. You got to be a damn fool to think that you can override the will and the power of the Most High God. He said, touch not my anointed ones. You can never touch his chosen seeds. And these people are foolish enough to think that they could. And like I said, they try to strategically, in a spiritual realm and on a physical realm, place certain people around you to stalk you, to watch you, to try to put dark magic over you. And every last one of them people that was involved in the agenda, whether you know who they are or not, are getting ready to face some crazy and some serious karmic debt. The illness, all of those things that they tried to place on you, the financial despair, everything that they tried to place over you, everybody that was involved in the agenda is getting ready to go down. They going down. Self-govern. It's time for us to start governing ourselves. And this is the thing. The agenda was to keep us from pulling away from the system. Because as their structure continues to come down, because it's already coming down, that's undeniable. That's why they scramming. That's why they doing every dumb thing that they could do, every psychotic thing that they could do to maintain a false structure. But it was built on lies. It was built on blood. And the very land that they built this structure on, our ancestors is up underneath this land. So what you think? The earth is already, this entire land mass right here. The people that's up underneath this land is our ancestors. Those trees that are growing, they're growing from the ashes of our ancestors. So that means that the earth is going to reject their ass. And so with everything in a spiritual realm is going to reject their ass. The sun is rejecting their ass, because that's always been the case. Okay. Everything about life in the physical and spiritual realm is rejecting them, because everything that they did was based off of lies and falsehood and wicked intentions. Okay. And so nothing can stand. They be stupid. How the hell you think you're going to get away? They've done so many things wrong against us that the Most High ain't got to do nothing. All he got to do is just direct the birds, release every one of the birds to go and peck their asses to death. Okay? Come on now. They dumb to think that they could actually overcome or do something to escape judgment. They will not escape judgment. And they tried to do it on a DNA level. They tried to go in and tamper with our DNA, especially with these so-called jabs. They're using that to turn us into robots, trying to tamper with us on a DNA level, because they know that at this time our DNA is being activated. As we continue to awaken to who we are and the powers that we possess, and as the sun continues to give us that beautiful energy, especially as melanated beings, it's awakening our DNA. And it's actually, they're repelled by it, so it's causing issues for them, but it's awakening our DNA because we readily absorb the UV rays of the sunlight. So they wanted to try to do things to manipulate the DNA so that they could try to stop the process of us awakening. All of that DNA that they claim is junk DNA, no, that's the DNA that's being activated at this very moment for the chosen seed. Okay, the energetic frequencies around us, the planet Earth is being reawakened. The vibratory rate of the planet Earth is actually being reawakened and shooken up. Okay, and so this is happening for us too. That's why we need to stay connected to nature. That's why we need to stay outside. That's why we need to stay away from low vibrational people and those so-called false friends and people that have false agendas against you, that's getting paid to do things, to cause fear tactics, all of this terrorism. Okay, this says terrorism and fear tactics. They've used certain types of terrorism, whether it's police brutality, putting it on television, trying to put it on video. That you think they started wearing them cameras back then because they knew that the agenda ultimately would be eventually they was going to start purposely killing black men and putting it on video so that they could televise it all over the news, on every news station, so that then what will happen, it will trickle down into social media. Now everybody is in an uproar. Oh, let's go pay these people for Black Lives Matter, because that's a paid group of people that go out to also further incite fear. Okay, all of the agenda, they were structuring it, conspiring behind closed doors, hoping that they could incite fear. Because what happens, they harvest the energy of fear. These people know about energy. They know about harvesting energy. That's what they've been doing for the longest. And the energy that they need the most is that of the melanated people, because the energy that we possess, we have souls. Okay, we have souls, and on a DNA level, we have a divine connection. We have a straight divine connection to the Most High God. So if they can keep us operating in a low vibrational state and in this energy of fear and survival mode, then that's how they was able to stay in power. That's the only reason why they had to go through so many measures that they had to go through in order to put us to sleep. Because these people knew they can't do nothing to an awakened melanated being. When they came to us, when they initially even came here to America, you know that the native Indians were black, okay? When they initially came here to America, they had to come in all nice, trying to act like they was offering peace, because their asses was scared as hell. They were scared as hell of the power that we possessed. And the only way that they was actually able to take out the native Indian was to come in and try to act like they had a good motive, like that snake that came up to Eve. They had to come in and act like they had a good move. And that's why when you go and look at the movies like Pocahontas, you'll notice when a guy came up to her, he tried to come in and, sweet talk her and tell her that they came with peace. And what did we do? We taught them our knowledge. We taught them our connection to nature. We taught them everything that we knew, thinking that we was being given, thinking that we was helping them. When in fact the entire time they had an agenda to take our power from us by using our power against us, and then turning around and handing us a white Jesus and handing us religion to keep us in a state of inferiority, thinking that if we didn't worship a white God and if we didn't maintain in this docile state to allow these people to put us in slavery, that somehow we would go to hell. That's what it was all about, inciting fear, using terrorism, terroristic acts, killing off your family, killing off your husband, your wife, your children, if they decided to learn something, if they decided to rebel against this wicked structure. That's what they've been using. They've been using the same tactics for a long time, but that shit is getting old. It's been old. Okay? And this is why righteous judgment is upon their heads. And you know why it's even more so upon their heads? Because the 144,000 in the chosen seeds, we coming together to call on righteous judgment. That's what this is all about. We hadn't called on righteous judgment before because we was not in a position to believe that it would actually be established if we asked for it. But now, because we operating from a space of true faith, because we know who we are and we know the power that we possess, we're ready to take back this doggone world. Not just this land, but this world. Because the entire humanity was disrupted by these people and their wicked and their psychotic ways. They went to many different nations and raped the women and enforced certain politics and ways of religion and all these things all across the globe. So everything is off balance. And this is why we are here, standing together, awakening as a whole body to reshape and restructure this thing. We're no longer going to sit back in fear, okay? We are not inferior to anyone, and we never was. The only one that's inferior is the one that has to incite fear in order to get into a space of power, and that's them, okay? Because if they thought that they was truly powerful, if they really thought that they was truly superior to us, then they would not have had to gain their power through criminal activity, through theft. They stole everything that we had, and now they want to try to say that they own things so much that you can't even so much as put a bucket outside to collect water. They want to try to tell you that that's theirs too. The rainwater belongs to them. You a god doggone fool. The Most High gave us this land. Come on now. So it's time for us to uplift each other. You already know they putting all these subliminal messages out there. But that's the thing. The subliminal messages, a lot of times, people for a long time was talking about conspiracy theories. When you look at certain movies, were they putting out they had to put out subliminal messages. Because one thing that the enemy was not allowed to do was to make us completely blind to the agenda. Because if they would have blinded us completely to the agenda, they would have been removing us from having free will to rise above this circumstance. You see what I'm saying? And so the subliminal messages, that was real. That was something that we always needed to take note of. But because we were so caught up, like I said, in materialism, ego, and our carnal nature, we would push those things to the side and brush them off. And many brushed it off as conspiracy theories. No, this can't be true. Come on now. How can it not be true when it was always in our face that these people was against us? From the very beginning, we was able to see that they were psychotic in their nature and that they have no empathy or compassion, and there's something about them that lacks a soul. We was able to see that from the very beginning. But because they were so good at deconditioning us and brainwashing us, they sat back and they came up with a plan. They studied long and hard on how they was going to do this, and they still doing it. But the problem is none of it is working now. None of it is working now. It's coming down. So let's continue to uplift each other. We got to continue to uplift ourselves first and uplift each other, okay? Continue to uplift each other. We got to stand together because you know that these people, they like babies. They ain't going to go out without kicking and screaming, okay? They're not going to go out kicking and screaming. They're going to go out kicking and screaming. They're going to go out holding on to this thing as tightly as possible, okay? Propaganda. It was all false, okay? It was all illusion. We got to stand up, okay? Continue to stand up. They see us rising. They see us rising. All of the chosen seed, they know we're going to continue to rise. You can't stop a chosen seed from rising. You dumb enough to try to bury a doggone seed. How you going to bury a seed? The seed ain't going to do nothing but grow when you bury it. But these people are so stupid, thinking that their money and their wealth and their false sense of power actually was keeping them in a space of superiority. It was all false. It was an illusion that they created not only for themselves, but they created it for us for a time. But now, because things have shifted, the Most High structured it so that it would happen this way. Because he knows that had he allowed them to stay in power, they can't stay in power forever, because the entire globe, everything would just be done for. The whole humanity will be done for if you leave those types of people in power. They had a short time to be in power and they'll never get it back again. This is the last of them. And this is why they're upset, because they're mentally disabled and their ego will not allow them to let it go. So just know that, like I said, we started off with the scripture. And the merchants of the earth weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So they ain't going to be buying nothing from these people that kept them in a space of having all of the riches. Don't nobody want nothing else from them, because people are starting to see. Other countries are starting to see. Other people that are in power in other nations, they're going to receive their judgment too. Because many of them conspired together to keep us asleep, knowing that once we woke up, even they would lose their sense of power. Because many of them was operating from a very low vibrational state with wicked intentions. But they was, because it allowed them to have a certain amount of money, and it allowed them to have a certain amount of power over people, they decided to work together with these people to conspire against us. Because you know that no other nation has come into our defense. No other nation has come forward to speak up for the melanated people, okay? Not like that. And so they have to deal with their judgment as well. Every person that was a part of this conspiracy, known and unknown, is getting ready to reap karmic justice from the Most High and our spiritual team, the holy angels, our ancestors of love and light. We're all coming together, and we are getting ready to rebuild this thing. And it's going to start with the 144,000 that's awakening. So that's what I got for y'all. I hope you was able to receive something from this message. I love you. If you desire a private reading from me, you can always email me But just know that that friend, that family member, that lover, whoever it is, just know that nobody is exempt. Everybody is a part of the agenda to try to put us back to sleep, but we will continue to rise. We will not be put back to sleep. We know who we are. We're going to continue to evolve. And when it's time for us to move, when the Most High say it's time to move, we are moving together. But we are doing this individually. We're going within. We're healing ourselves. We're purging ourselves. We're releasing habits and addictions that do not serve us. We are cleansing our auric field. We got this.